Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I am dropping a classic version of bread pudding with a vanilla bourbon sauce, guys. This is a go-to for Thanksgiving or Christmas, just the holidays. It's warm, it's cozy, it's comfort food, it's delicious. So we're gonna hop right into the video. So first, I'm going to take they're 1 ounce boxes of the sun-made raisins, and I'm just going to soak them. The longer you soak them, the better. Normally, I soak them overnight, but for this video, I only soaked them for about 4 hours. And I'm just going to soak them into my alcohol. This is actually optional. If you have kids eating this, don't soak it in the alcohol. But since I don't have kids eating this, I'm going to soak it in Bean Bourbon, guys. And I'm just going to let that soak. The longer you soak it, the better. And we're going to set that to the side until we're ready to use it. And the most important thing for bread pudding, of course, is the bread. I'm using a regular French loaf bread that I got from my local bakery. And you want your bread to be kind of stale, kind of hard. It makes for a good bread pudding, guys. I'm not lying, because the bread, if it's hard, it will soak up that custard better. If you have soft fresh bread, it's not going to turn out as good as if you had stale bread. So I'm just going to cut my bread into, or take my hands and just rip them into tiny pieces, guys. Not tiny, medium-sized pieces. You can use your knife and cut them up. I just use my hands for everything. And then once you have all your bread cut up, and I didn't use the whole loaf because I only made a small pan. I used about 3/4 of the loaf, guys. But if you want a whole pan, use the whole loaf. You can even add more bread to it. So once everything is nicely chopped up with your hands, you can then move on to making your custard. Okay, so now we need to make our custard. So custard is very easy to make. It's just 4 eggs, and then you want to add in 1.5 cups of whole milk. You don't have to use whole milk. You can use half and half, or you can use heavy cream. I prefer to use half and half, but of course I didn't have any. Every time I try to make a video, I'm running out of something. But that's okay. I used whole milk and it came out just as good as it does when I use half and half. So a cup and a half of whole milk, and then we want to add in our sugar, white sugar and brown sugar. Guys, y'all know I really don't measure my ingredients, so I'm going to guesstimate that I used about a cup of white sugar and a cup of brown sugar, or a cup of white sugar, and I would say 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, because I always put more white sugar in than I do brown sugar. And then once you do that, you're gonna whisk it all around, and then you want to add in some cinnamon. I love cinnamon, guys. I put about a teaspoon of cinnamon in, and then I add in a splash of nutmeg, and then a half a stick of melted butter, and then I'm missing an ingredient. Oh, vanilla. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of vanilla in. And then once everything is whisked together, nicely incorporated, we want to add in our bread, the bread that we made into little cubes. We're going to add that in, and this is why we want that stale bread, because that stale bread is going to beautifully soak up. It's going to soak it up so beautifully, the custard. And it's not going to look like much right now, but when we bake it, it's going to be absolutely delicious. And at this point, you can cut your oven on 350 degrees so it can be preheating while we're making our bread pudding. And so once everything is mixed together, we are going to layer it in our pan, guys. We do not want to put our raisins into our actual bread pudding right now, because I don't know. I just never did. I just always thought that maybe it would, the raisins are not going to be evenly distributed. So here I have my raisins. They've been soaking for 4 hours, and I have my pan that I buttered, and I'm just going to layer my bread in, guys. And as you can see, I'm going to put half the mixture in, and then I'm going to take those raisins. I took the Jim Beam alcohol out of it. I drained it out. So I'm just going to take those raisins that soaked up that Jim Beam Jim Bean alcohol. I can't talk today. Oh, I can't talk every day, but whatever. Jim Bean alcohol, and I'm just gonna layer that into my bread pudding. I'm crazy. And then I'm gonna take the rest of the bread and the custard. You want everything that's in that bowl, and you just want to put it all in the pan. And then, of course, place some more raisins on top of your bread. And then you just want to, with your spatula, just like smash it together gently, though. Don't go crazy and like flatten it, because the bread is soggy. But just, as you can see, I'm just patting it down so it can just all mesh together. And we're going to put this in our oven for 45 minutes on 350 degrees, guys. Don't even touch it. Don't even worry about it. Just keep it moving, sis. But your kitchen, I will say, will start to smell cinnamony and nutmeggy and just beautiful. And right now, we're going to make our sauce, because all good bread pudding has to have a sauce. And vanilla sauce is so easy. So you're just going to start off with 1 egg. Then we're going to add in some milk. I added in about a cup of milk. Whisk that all around, guys. Just like my banana pudding video, don't stop whisking. Just whisk your life away. And then we're going to add in some sugar. You can add in brown sugar or white sugar. I'm going to be adding in white sugar. And you want to add about a half a cup of white sugar in, and then a splash of nutmeg, and then some vanilla. I added in about a half a teaspoon of vanilla, and then you want to add in some of that Jim Beam alcohol. Guys, this is optional. If you have kids, you don't have to put no alcohol in the bread pudding or your sauce, but I love it. My family loves it in the sauce and in the bread pudding. So you want to continuously whisk it, and then it's going to start to get thick, as you can see. And we're going to place it to the side so we can pour this on our bread pudding, because our bread pudding is ready to make its debut. And as you can see, it looks absolutely delicious, guys. And you want to let that sit for at least 10 to 15 minutes before you cut into it. And 10 to 15 minutes later, I'm cutting into mine. And you know that first piece is the hardest to get out the pan, but just carefully get it out that pan, because presentation, guys, is key. So once it's out the pan, I'm going to show you guys how it looks on the inside. And might I say, y'all can say I'm biased, my bread pudding is just, it looks delicious. It tastes delicious. And it, look at her. Look at the layer, look at it. It's delicious, and it wouldn't be complete without adding some of that vanilla bourbon sauce, guys. Oh, just drizzle that all on top of your bread pudding. Y'all got to make this for Christmas, guys. Y'all are going to absolutely love it. And I literally went to go taste it, right? I was just going to taste it for y'all, and ended up eating the whole plate in 2.5 seconds. I don't understand why I do this to myself. I just be like, okay, I'm just going to have a little piece. I'm going to have a little bite. Let me taste what I'm making. And then it'd be like, that was good. Then I go back, and I tore that thing up in 5 seconds. Y'all got to try it. Y'all will absolutely love it for the holidays. And I just think it's like a perfect dessert for Thanksgiving or Christmas. It's just a comfort food. But that's pretty much it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you guys are washing your hands. And I will see you guys at my next video.